Good evening. I am your host tonight, Igor Yamayov. Tonight on the 4th episode of Russians blowing up, sorry, that's a problem, of Russians examining America, we have a special guest discussing a man who's so awesome, he was almost a Russian. I'm talking, of course, about Stonewall Jackson, and discussing him, we have Perinsky Godboldov. Perin Godbold, sorry. Hi.
Hi, it's good to be here.
You will need these.
Yeah, thanks. First, let's examine his early life. His father died when he was 2. His mother refused to take charity that their numerous family members were willing to offer. His mother finally remarried when he was 6, but his stepfather was not exactly a shining example of a man. In fact, he beat Jackson, and Jackson had had enough. When he was 10, he ran away or was sent away, and he eventually ended up with his Uncle Cummings, who owned a sawmill. He became a constable at 17. That was his first chance of real responsibility, but he was never satisfied with the simple valley life, or at least he wanted higher learning, always wanted more education. He saw his chance to higher education and a better life with West Point. That would be the way Jackson thought. Military career and more education. But it was competitive. He went there, he was one of 5 candidates. 3 dropped out for various reasons. You don't know some of them. But Jackson's lack of writing skills and experience with English was his undoing. He was beaten by another candidate who had served some terms as clerk. So this ex-clerk went to West Point, got there, decided he didn't like the military surroundings, and in 2 days left without telling anyone. When he got home, he had really no excuse. He said the air had not agreed with him. So Jackson learns of this shortly after, but term is coming up. He's got to meet the senator to get the nomination, and he's running out of time. He still has to impress the guy, but Jackson's friends are all willing to help. He takes a quick crash course in English, and then makes, not really a heroic journey, but a long journey on horseback to Washington, with his pockets filled of recommendations, and impresses the senator enough, and so now you have Thomas Jackson enrolling in West Point. Absolute bottom of the class. But this is where his discipline shines through. Every year he jumped majorly in the class. I believe he was 13th at graduation, and people joked that if the class had continued one more year, he would have been first. He didn't receive many demerits, and that helped in his class rankings, and he didn't drop out, which helped in his life. Jackson immediately got a chance to show what he had learned in battlefield. Well, as immediately as it takes to get from West Point to Mexico. Mexican-American War. Jackson is a 2nd lieutenant entering in, but he's not going to be just a 2nd lieutenant going out. All through the war, he impresses his superiors with his resolution, actually, to impress them. He says he was scared that the fighting wouldn't be fierce enough so that he could distinguish himself. And, frankly, it's a miracle he survived. While attacking Mexico City, he was in the small corridor. They were, well, corridor streets. There's houses on both sides. It's essentially a corridor. They're being shelled, and musketry is crackling all around them. All the horses pulling the cannon train that he's in charge of are shot instantly, okay? So he can't move the cannons easily, but you still can do it if you don't get shot by the Mexicans. So there he is, standing next to his cannons, trying to turn them, while all the rest of his troop have run and hid behind a rock. So his courage actually inspires them. They run around and eventually turn the cannon, and the tide of that front. Some say that it was crucial, others disagree. Either way, it's a good story. Jackson's Shenandoah campaign. An amazing piece of work. Here's the snare. Richmond is threatened by McClellan's ginormous army. General Johnson is holding back McDowell's army 40 miles-ish below Manassas. Jackson's job is to keep the 60,000 Federals over in the Shenandoah Valley occupied, with his army of, well, eventually rises to 17,000 men with General Ewell's men, but it starts off at about 4,000. Very nice prospects, 4,000 versus 60,000. Yeah, you got it, you're famous. At this point, Jackson is Stonewall Jackson. He stood with his Stonewall Brigade at Manassas, or First Manassas or Bull Run, and he's pretty famous general, but not as famous as he's going to become. With his amazing sense of courage, intelligence, dumb luck, combination of all of those. In fact, with the Union generals second-guessing each other, Lincoln sending off commands because he thinks Jackson's 100 miles away from where he is, or calling back all the Union troops to protect Washington. Anyways, all events seem to lead in Jackson's favor, and the Stonewall man outwits them all with 17,000 men and keeps them occupied there, defeats them in four major battles, and then runs away to Richmond to help Lee while they think he's still in the valley. You have beautiful eyes. So Jackson goes on to Richmond and helps Lee whoop the Federals there, and they go on to chase the Union pretty much out of Virginia, and all is looking well on the Eastern Front, but that's not going to be enough. The Federals simply have too much production, and U.S. Grant is going to display some impressive generalship of his own, and then use the sheer demographic power of the Union to crush the Confederacy and burn their land and whatnot. But Jackson, throughout the war, shows himself an incredible man, dedicated to the cause with all his heart.
You know what moms make me do for grammar? Stupid poetry stuff.
Well, it could be worse. You could have a Stonewall Jackson project to work on. I've been doing this thing for 20 hours a week. If I do any more, I'm going to turn into him.
dude. Are you okay?
I feel alright, but my head does hurt.
Okay. Do you want help getting up?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, my head. Where's my beard?
You don't
Who
have a
has
beard.
shaved
You
my
don't.
beard? I had a beard. I also had boots. Son, have you seen my horse? Where's my horse?
You don't have a horse.
Where am I?
Stannisville, Virginia.
Well, I knew I was in Virginia, but I do not recognize this place.
What?
Have I died? Is it true? Do you die and go to Virginia? Do I know you, sir?
Yes.
I don't believe
you
we met, though.
Yeah.
I am General Thomas Jackson. Would you direct me to my army?
What army?
I need my horse. Find my horse for me.
You have a horse.
I had a horse.
No.
I have a horse. Find Dr. Hunter for me.
I need a doctor, but
I
you
need
don't.
boots.
I don't know where your horse
We can
is.
go to your humble abode, and I need some boots.
Hey, it's not that
Richmond
humble.
is in
You live
danger, and I
humble
must
abode.
get. Do not speak to your general like that.
That's not funny.
I don't know.
Oh, that felt good. Hey, Jackson.
What? Who did that? Liam! Where did Liam go?
He
Are we playing soccer
hit you
still?
in the head with the soccer ball.
Yeah, I know he hit me in the head with a soccer ball, but it happens, okay? Let's
Okay,
go play.
well, you want help
Oh,
getting
God,
up.
we gotta go finish the essay. I guess we're done, aren't we?
Yeah, probably.
Let's go.